Well, guys, I'm Trevor Chatham, and welcome to tonight's webinar. Tonight we're going to be doing a goal-setting workshop, and I'm really excited to do this because I know that the more you put into it, the more you're going to get out of it. And I know from, well, we've been running these actually for over 30 years. But for some people, it's been absolutely, totally life-changing. This is just the feedback we've had over the years. And it was interesting because I doing some cleanup there a while back, and I found one of the original booklets that this all comes from that I'd printed off back in 2002. And when I went through and had a look at it, I thought, man, that's a lot better than what we're doing currently. And so here we are. We did Melbourne a week or so ago. And anyway, it's exciting, guys. It's exciting because I promise you, the more you put into it, the more you're going to get out of it. So anyway, welcome to tonight's goal setting workshop, and we're going to go through this quickly tonight. And really, you want to be prepared to think and write. And the aim of this workshop is to teach you a process that you can use to set goals in all areas of your life. It's not just networking, it's all areas of your life. And by learning this process, you're likely to have a much more successful life in the future than what you've had in the past. I mean, this is just what we found, feedback we've had for well over 30 years. And one of the things you've got to understand is we're all just functioning at a fraction of our potential. And that is just so exciting when you fully understand that we're all just functioning at a fraction of our potential. You know, what's happened in the past does not determine what we can do in the future. And no matter how successful or unsuccessful you feel you've been in the past, we're all capable of doing so much more. That is a key. We're all capable of doing so much more. And the books we read, the audios we listen to, the videos we watch, the seminars we attend all help us to understand this and to grow and develop towards our full potential. But this is so exciting. And today, many people spend more time planning their vacation, working out what they're going to do next weekend than we do planning the rest of their lives. I mean, if you look at it, how much they've got planned out, they've got all these different areas: family, network, conventional jobs, investments, recreation, spiritual, and fitness and health, community. And really, long-term goal setting for a lot of them is, what am I doing next weekend? What am I doing next weekend in the recreation sector? I mean, some of the guys that, really into the long-term goal setting and working out what they're going to do with their next annual vacation. But in actual fact, they spend most of their time in terms of goal setting and planning in this section. And what we want to do tonight is we want to help you, and tonight and tomorrow night, can be 2 nights, but help you to start looking at all areas of your life, all areas of your life, not just the network, not just the recreation, but all areas of your life. And very few people plan to fail, no doubt about that, but many people fail to plan. And the result's usually the same. Whether they plan to fail or whether they fail to plan, the result is usually the same. And, one of the big questions is, why do people with goals in life succeed and people without them fail? And really, this is the reason we're doing this goal-setting workshop tonight, because we want you to help you to succeed. But this question is answered in The Strangest Secret by Earl Nightingale. Now, this was released way back in 1956 on a record. And this is just a part of it. The Strangest Secret. But listen to what Earl says here, because this is a key. This is a reason why we're doing this exercise tonight and tomorrow night.
Now let's get back to the strangest secret in the world, the story that I wanted to tell you today. Why do men with goals succeed in life and men without them fail? Well, let me tell you something which, if you really understand it, will alter your life immediately. If you understand completely what I'm going to tell you from this moment on, your life will never be the same again. You will suddenly find that good luck just seems to be attracted to you. The things you want just seem to fall in line, and from now on you won't have the problems, the worries, the gnawing lump of anxiety that perhaps you've experienced before. Doubt, fear, well, they'll be things of the past. Here's the key to success and the key to failure. We become what we think about. Now let me say that again. We become what we think about. Throughout all history, the great wise men and teachers, philosophers and prophets have disagreed with one another on many different things. It's only on this one point that they are in complete and unanimous agreement. Listen to what Marcus Aurelius, the great Roman emperor, said. A man's life is what his thoughts make of it. Disraeli said this. Everything comes if a man will only wait. I've brought myself by long meditation to the conviction that a human being with a settled purpose must accomplish it, and that nothing can resist a will that will stake even existence for its fulfillment. Ralph Waldo Emerson said this, "A man is what he thinks about all day long." William James said, "The greatest discovery of my generation is that human beings can alter their lives by altering their attitudes of mind." And he also said, "We need only in cold blood act as if the thing in question were real, and it will become infallibly real by growing into such a connection with our life that it will become real. It will become so knit with habit and emotion that our interest in it will be those which characterize belief." And he also said, "If you only care enough for a result, you will almost certainly attain it. If you wish to be rich, you will be rich. If you wish to be learned, you will be learned. If you wish to be good, you will be good. Only you must then really wish these things, and wish them exclusively, and not wish at the same time 100 other incompatible things just as strongly." In the Bible, you read in Mark 9:23, "If thou canst believe, all things are possible to him that believeth." My old friend Dr. Norman Vincent Peale put it this way, "This is one of the greatest laws in the universe. Fervently do I wish I had discovered it as a very young man. It dawned upon me much later in life, and I found it to be one of the greatest, if not my greatest discovery outside of my relationship to God. The great law, briefly and simply stated, is that if you think in negative terms, you will get negative results. If you think in positive terms, you will achieve positive results. That is the simple fact," he went on to say, "which is at the basis of an astonishing law of prosperity and success. In 3 words, believe and succeed." George Bernard Shaw said, "People are always blaming their circumstances for what they are. I don't believe in circumstances. The people who get on in this world are the people who get up and look for the circumstances they want, and if they can't find them, make them." Well, it's pretty apparent, isn't it? And every person who discovered this for a while believed that he was the first one to work it out. We become what we think about. Now, it stands to reason that a person who's thinking about a concrete and worthwhile goal is going to reach it, because that's what he's thinking about, and we become what we think about. Conversely, the man who has no goal, who doesn't know where he's going, and whose thoughts must therefore be thoughts of confusion and anxiety and fear and worry, becomes what he thinks about. His life becomes one of frustration and fear and anxiety and worry. And if he thinks about nothing, he becomes nothing. Now, how does it work? Why do we become what we think about? Well, I'll tell you how it works as far as we know. Now, to do this, I want to tell you about a situation that parallels the human mind. Suppose a farmer has some land, and it's good fertile land. Now, the land gives the farmer a choice. He may plant in that land whatever he chooses. The land doesn't care. It's up to the farmer to make the decision. Now, remember, we're comparing the human mind with the land because the mind, like the land, doesn't care what you plant in it. It will return what you plant, but it doesn't care what you plant. Now, let's say that the farmer has 2 seeds in his hand. One is a seed of corn. The other is nightshade, a deadly poison. He digs 2 little holes in the earth and he plants both seeds, one corn, the other nightshade. He covers up the holes, waters, and takes care of the land, and what will happen? Invariably, the land will return what's planted. As it's written in the Bible, as ye sow, so shall ye reap. Now remember, the land doesn't care. It'll return poison in just as wonderful abundance as it will corn. So up come the 2 plants, one corn, one poison. Now, the human mind is far more fertile, far more incredible and mysterious than the land, but it works the same way. It doesn't care what we plant. Success, failure. A concrete, worthwhile goal, or confusion. Misunderstanding, fear, anxiety, and so on. But what we plant, it must return to us. You see, the human mind is the last great unexplored continent on Earth. It contains riches beyond our wildest dreams. It will return anything we want to plant.
It'll return anything we want to plant. That is so powerful. And Dexter Yeager often stated that success is a progressive realization of a worthwhile dream. Right? Success is a progressive realization of a worthwhile dream. And many others have defined success as being on the way to a clearly defined goal. So it's being on the way to a clearly defined goal. And so if we accept these definitions as correct, then to feel successful in life, you must have a goal in life. I mean, if you haven't got a goal, you can't be on your way. And you have to know where you're going. That's the bottom line. And at the same time, you need to know where you are right now. Right? It's like having a map. You need to know where you are at the moment if you're going to work out how you're going to get to your destination. And if you clarify these 2 points, where you are right now, where you want to go, and make a decision to move from one to the other, you will have a sense of purpose and your life will take on meaning. You will experience success. That's what's so exciting. So first thing we want to do, and just to work out exactly where you're at the moment, I want you to draw this out, draw this cross out, and on a page, blank page basically, and make it fairly large. And so you're just going to have these 4 things written down: family at the top, finances out on the right, fitness and health down the bottom, and spiritual on the left. And then what I want you to do is put a 0 in the center, then a 10, 10, 10, 10, 10 around the edges, right out the end like that. And what I want you to do is to mark in where you're at the moment compared with where you would like to be. So this is just self-assessment. You're not sharing this with anybody else. It's just where you're at the moment compared with where you would like to be, initially in your family relationships. Right? So it's just your score as to where you're at the moment compared with where you would like to be. And then with your finances, again, where you're at the moment compared with where you'd like to be. And you can't go back and put it out the other side on the spiritual side. Now, I know you can, you say you don't know how badly in debt I am. I know you can go under, but we don't want you to do that. Just put it out here on the right-hand side where it messes it all up. So somewhere between 0 and 10, compared with where you're at the moment, compared with where you would like to be. The same with your current fitness and health. Where you are at the moment compared with where you would like to be. And then also spiritually. Right, so just mark in those 4 points. This is just self-assessment. Right, so then once you've done that, what I'd like you to do is to go ahead and now join up those 4 points with a gentle curve. Right, with a gentle curve like that. So just try and get it curved around as, you know, circular type shape as much as you can, but a gentle curve, not just with straight lines. So if you go ahead and do that, then what I want you to do is to think about that as being your wheel of life. Because your life's made up of those 4 areas. Right? Think of the center section there with the big black dot on it. That's your axle. And just imagine how you would be traveling, how the ride would feel if that was the wheel on your vehicle and you're going down the road like that. Right? And that's just where you're at the moment compared with where you would like to be. But draw that in. And then the question is, do you wish to achieve more in any of the above areas in your life? Those 4 areas. Do you want to move them out closer to the 10s? And that's where you're at the moment compared with where you would like to be. And I just want to quickly mention, and Jeff Jones mentioned this to me, he said God is actually interested and speaks to each of the 4 areas in his word. He said God wants to restore us to our destiny, and as far as his destiny for us is concerned, he wants us to be a 10 out of 10. That's pretty exciting when you think of that. And we'd have a beautiful big wheel out there. And the other thing you understand is that the 4 areas feed each other. The 4 areas feed each other. Do you ever think about it? I think you'll agree the 4 areas feed each other. And one of the other points Jeff made was the fact that, you know, the fruit of the Spirit include love, joy, and peace. Well, if you think about it, you could be 10 out of 10 in 3 of those areas, you know, low score on any one of them, and chances are you would not be experiencing joy and peace. You would not be experiencing joy and peace. If you just think about it, right? It wouldn't matter which one was out of whack. And the other thing we want to do is we want to help you to get a vision, some goals, some ambitions, right? Reason being, because without a vision, the people perish. And I got no doubt this is one of the big problems out there with so many of the mental health issues at the moment. A lot of people have got no vision for the future. They've got no ambition, no goals, and they're perishing. That's what's going on out there. Hey guys, we can help people. We've got an incredible opportunity in our hands and incredible backup and support to go with it. But this is just an awareness for where you're at the moment compared with where you would like to be. And setting goals properly takes time and effort. There's no doubt about that. This is a mental exercise, guys. This is a work night for you. This is not just sitting back observing. Well, you can, but you're not going to get anywhere near as much out of it as if you put the time and the effort in and actually do it properly. And you actually think these things through, and you keep trying to imagine, you keep trying to think things through as you get time to start writing here in a minute. Because the more effort you put into this exercise, there's no doubt the more you'll get out of it. And what I found is that people that have done this before, they get more out of it second time around, third time around. Because what we're really doing is teaching people a thought process here. Teaching people how to think, start with the end in mind, break it back down into bite-sized steps, to use their imaginations, rather than just looking at their current situation and then trying to live below that line income-wise without thinking. There's a different way of thinking. And just like any other skill, what you're going to find is that the more often you do it, the easier it becomes and the more effective it becomes. That's what's going to happen. There's no doubt about that. And just quickly, a little bit of background. You got the mind and the brain. The brain's a physical organ. We're all aware of that. It functions like a huge computer with virtually unlimited storage capacity. So it's a storage capacity. And it receives information through our five senses: sight, hearing, touch, smell, and taste. That's how it gets the information. And the brain also sends out impulses to the rest of the body via the nervous system. So that's the brain, physical organ. But the mind is completely different to the brain. If we think of the brain as being like a computer, the mind is like the software that activates the brain. It's the software that activates the computer. Without any software on our computers, we wouldn't be doing anything tonight. We could have the hardware, you could have the computer sitting there, but we wouldn't be connected. We wouldn't be linked in like this. It's the software that makes it all possible. It activates the brain. And the mind consists of two parts, right? The conscious mind, the subconscious mind. And I love this diagram because it's like an iceberg, but the subconscious mind is below the level, below the surface. Generally speaking, difficult to see. A lot of people don't realise just how powerful it is, but it's by far more powerful than the conscious mind. The conscious mind is a little bit that sticks out the top. And it's that part of our mind that we're aware of and can control at will, right? And we can control our thoughts, we can control our actions. That's all with the conscious mind. But the subconscious mind acts like the computer software program. It's the program running in the background. And it's created by everything that we've ever experienced. So important to understand this. All our previous experiences go towards the programming of our subconscious mind. That's everything that parents have said, teachers have said to us, work associates have said, victories we've had, losses we've had, books we've read, videos we've been watching, seminars we've been to. Everything that's ever happened to us in the past has all gone towards the programming of our subconscious mind. And the subconscious mind works like an absolutely brilliant goal tracking mechanism. It works as an absolutely brilliant goal tracking mechanism. And it's from your subconscious mind that you'll have your thoughts pop up into your conscious mind. Important to understand that. Subconscious mind much more powerful. But you can be walking along, you can be driving along, you can be in the shower, you can be doing anything you like, and all of a sudden thoughts just pop up into your conscious mind. Now it's important to understand they've been stored in the subconscious and now they've come up into your conscious mind. And if you think about it, how you're feeling at any given moment is determined by what you are actually thinking about. I mean, if you think about it, you can either be having happy thoughts or sad thoughts, excited thoughts or depressed thoughts. How you're feeling at any given moment is determined by what you are thinking about. And your feelings and emotions determine the actions we take. I mean, generally speaking, we only do what we feel like doing. We only do what we feel like doing. So you repeat that action over and over again, then it becomes a habit. Now we don't even have to think about it. It's like, oh, but I've always done this. That's just me. That's just who I am. Yeah, it's become a habit. That's right. And it's your daily actions and habits that determine the results you get in life. No, that's relationships, it's finances, it's fitness and health, it's everything. It's your daily actions and habits that determine the results you get in life. And the results you get determine the lifestyle you're able to lead. That's just how it is. And I just want you to understand this so you'll understand the rationale behind why we're going to do what we're doing tonight, going through all this. See what happens, a lot of people go out there, they want to change their lifestyle. They'll look at it. So then they go and try and change their actions and habits. Could be go and join a gym, right? If they want to make some more money, it could be do another course. Could be get another job. Could be work extra hours, whatever. But the problem is, if they don't understand this diagram, what in actual fact usually happens, most people cannot make meaningful changes in their lives, just so you understand that. They have trouble because they don't understand this. But once we understand it, much easier to make the meaningful changes. You see what happens if they're just trying to work on their actions and habits, they don't change the subconscious mind, don't reprogram that, they go back to their old thoughts, which then lead to their old feelings and emotions, old actions and habits, old results, same lifestyle, nothing changes. That's just what happens. But the good news is we can choose what to plant. As Earl Nightingale said in that little clip, we can choose what to plant. And seeing what can happen here, we can put in the webinars, we can put in the association with other people in the business, we can read books, we can listen to audios, right? Attend the seminars, do this goal setting workshop, other goal setting programs. Then use some affirmations. We can use the EFT, right? Which is an emotional freedom technique, taking out some of the negatives. We can watch videos, DVDs, whatever. These days, a lot of it's just online on YouTube. There's so much great information out there. And then what happens? We do that. We change what we plant. We can change the subconscious mind. We change the subconscious mind. That's like tweaking the autopilot on your boat or your plane. The subconscious is like an autopilot. You get it programmed, it's going to take you there. And then what happens? We change the subconscious mind, we change our thoughts. What did Earl Nightingale say? We become what we think about. We need to be able to change our thoughts. If we don't change the subconscious mind, we can't change our thoughts. This is what happens. So we need to change the subconscious mind so we can change our thoughts, new thoughts. What happens after that? End up with new feelings and emotions. We're feeling different, excited about it. We don't learn some knowledge. Then change our actions and habits. We do that, take some new actions and habits, start contacting people, sharing the information, etc., whatever. You can develop a whole new set of results. Ultimately, a whole new lifestyle. That's how it works. But it's so important to understand that if you do not change the subconscious mind, chances are you are not going to change. So important. And that's what we want to do tonight. See what we're going to be doing tonight and this and tomorrow night. We're going to go through, and the first part of it's a goal setting program and the affirmations. We're going to work out where we want to end up, right? And seeing what happens. We spend some time working out the new lifestyle that we wish to achieve. That's way down the bottom. And then once we've done that, then we can work backwards to work out the results that you will need to obtain, right? The actions you will have to take, and the self-instructions or affirmations that are required to change your subconscious mind so that you have the correct programming to enable it to all come together. If you just try and work on the actions and habits without changing the subconscious, chances are you will go back to your old feelings and emotions, old thoughts, old actions and habits. Nothing changes. So guys, I just want you to understand the rationale behind all this to start with. Because it's not just a matter of setting the goals, then it's a matter of following it up. And Bunker Hunt stated that to be successful in any field, and he's one of the richest guys out there, but to be successful in any field, you've got to decide what it is that you want. Then you've got to decide the price required to get it. Everything's got a price. And you're going to pay the price for success in advance, or you'll pay the price for failure forever. And that's just it. But you got to decide the price, and then you're going to pay the price. And tonight, this first section is mainly deciding what you want. Tomorrow night we'll go through and we'll look at putting all that into perspective, working out the urgency, working out which one's important, and just which ones we want to do first. And then we're going to decide the price that we've got to pay to do it. And then we're going to look at going out and paying the price. So that's what we're going to do. But firstly, what we're going to do is just one little bit of EFT, right? One little bit of EFT. And this just helps take out some of the negatives that quite a few of us have been feeling. And I know when I do this, it helps every time I do it. The emotional freedom technique, very simple technique, based on tapping the acupressure points. Basically what they reckon is that for every negative emotion, there's an interruption of the body's energy flows. Now, all as I know is that it works. Been using it since 2002, helped and taught a lot of people with this. And so quickly what we're going to tap on, and we'll do it together, and you can all join in and do it with me. But even though I haven't achieved what I wanted to achieve, I deeply and completely accept myself. I know God is in control and I'm okay. And personally, I always put I know God is in control in there, because that's just who I am, where I'm at, where I'm coming from. But then we'll go through and do it. And what we'll do is we'll tap on these eyebrow points in the corner of the eye, then under the eye, under the nose, under the mouth, and top of the chest, then under the arm. So we'll do that, and I'll just lead you through it all, and it'll be pretty simple. So anyway, guys, let's do this, and we'll do it together. Even though I haven't achieved what I wanted to achieve, right? If you do this, I guarantee it works. Just watching it doesn't help. Right? It's a physical thing. Even though I haven't achieved what I wanted to achieve, I deeply and completely accept myself. I know God's in control and I'm okay. And we'll say that 3 times. Even though I haven't achieved what I wanted to achieve, I deeply and completely accept myself. I know God's in control and I'm okay. Even though I haven't achieved what I wanted to achieve, I deeply and completely accept myself. I know God's in control and I'm okay. Right? And then eyebrow point, even though I haven't achieved what I wanted to achieve. Outside of the eye, even though I haven't achieved what I wanted to achieve. Under the eye, even though I haven't achieved what I wanted to achieve. Under the nose, even though I haven't achieved what I wanted to achieve. Under the lip, even though I haven't achieved what I wanted to achieve. Top of the chest, even though I haven't achieved what I wanted to achieve. Under the arm, even though I haven't achieved what I wanted to achieve. I deeply and completely accept myself. I know God's in control and I'm okay. Outside of the eye, I deeply and completely accept myself. I know God's in control and I'm okay. Under the eye, I deeply and completely accept myself. I know God's in control and I'm okay. Under the nose, I deeply and completely accept myself. I know God's in control and I'm okay. The mouth, I deeply and completely accept myself. I know God's in control and I'm okay. Top of the chest, I deeply and completely accept myself. I know God's in control, I'm okay. Under the arm, I deeply and completely accept myself. I know God's in control and I'm okay. Now we alternate. Even though I haven't achieved what I wanted to achieve. And outside of the eye, I deeply and completely accept myself. I know God's in control and I'm okay. Under the nose, even though I haven't achieved what I wanted to achieve, I deeply and completely accept myself. I know God's in control and I'm okay. Even though I haven't achieved what I wanted to achieve, I deeply and completely accept myself. I know God's in control and I'm okay. Even though I haven't achieved what I wanted to achieve, I deeply and completely accept myself. I know God's in control and I'm okay. And a big deep breath. Let it all out. Now I've got a whole section there on the teamfsi.net site on the tapping, but that's the only bit we're going to go through today. But I guarantee you, mate, we've seen a lot of people out there that it's made a huge difference to, right? Really has. So that's good. So anyway, guys, let's get back to the sharing and we'll keep going here. So anyway, guys, success breeds success. Now, we've all been successful in achieving and or obtaining certain goals in the past. And what I want you to do to start with, if we think about our past successes, it'll be easier for us to convince our subconscious minds that we can achieve in the future. Right? Success breeds success. There's no doubt about that. And so I want you to have a think about some of the successes you've had in the past. It's often been stated that whatever the mind can perceive and believe, it's got to be able to believe it as well. Right? You've got to be able to imagine it. You've got to be able to perceive it. You've got to be able to think about it. But then it's also got to be believable. Then you can achieve it. Whatever the mind can perceive and believe, you can achieve. So just spend a few minutes and write down on a page there some of the goals that you've achieved or obtained in the past. Right? Now, it could be anything where you've had a victory, anything where you've had a win, but some of the wins that you've had in the past, write these down. Right? And could be different goals that you've set, could be in academics, could be in sport, could be in business, could be in relationships, could be anything. But just list down some goals that you've had in the past that you've been able to achieve. And the next thing I want you to think about is how did you feel when you achieved your most significant goal, right? So if you think back to your most significant goal, if you have a look at those ones you've written down there, and then how did you feel when you'd achieved that? Just write that out, how you felt. Guys, what we're going to do now is spend some time answering a few questions to help you decide what it is that you want. So there's going to be a number of different questions here, right? And most people never take the time to actually sit down and do this most important and crucial step to leading a successful and fulfilling life. That is to work out where you want, look at it from a whole heap of different aspects, and then decide exactly what you're going to have to do to get there, then put the steps in place to actually do it, and then start with step one. But we've got to start with the end in mind. And so first of all, we have to spend a little bit of time, and it takes time to actually identify what it is that you want. So the first question is, what are my 20-year or lifetime goals? Now, it's best if you do this on a new page, right? If you've got an exercise book there, do this on a new page. So you can go back later on and have a look at this and add to it. But do this on a new page. So what are my 20-year or lifetime goals? All right, a few minutes. Okay, guys. Now the next question is, how would I like to spend the next 5 years? So now we're dropping it back a bit, right? We started off with 20 years or lifetime goals. And now, how would I like to spend the next 5 years? All right, spend a few minutes working on this one. Okay, guys. Now the next one is, if I knew I'd be struck by lightning 6 months from now, how would I live until then? So the point we're trying to get across here is you're going to be fit and healthy for 6 months. We know that, right? So you haven't got any health issues. You're not going downhill with cancer or anything. You're going to be fit and healthy for 6 months. Just want you to imagine that. And then how would you live until then if you knew that you only had 6 months left? You know, 27th of November, 2019 was D-Day. That was it. And what we often find, what we usually find with this, a lot of people have stuff written down in this one that they didn't actually have written down in the first coup. So just spend some time and think about, if you imagine you just been, something had happened and you knew you only had 6 months left to live. That's it. How would you live until then? Okay, next page. What will life be like 5 years from today? Right now, in terms of the network, you can imagine you've achieved so many cycles per week. Right? Imagine they say, oh, but gee, I'm doing so many cycles per week, and we're making so much per week or so much per year. Right? So have a think about that. And you can put the date in. It's going to be 27th of May, 2024. 27th of May 2074. One of the things I've always done when I do this sort of thing, and it's helped a lot of people in the past, is I put in how old I'll be. Right? So in my case, I'll be 72. Still 2 years younger than Jimmy Smith was when he started. I'm excited about that. But put your date in there, your age, I am, and then you can put your partner, your wife, partner's age in there. And I'd always write down my kids as well. Right, because it just helped put that all in perspective. Because 5 years for the kids, that's a huge difference. It was, when I first started doing this. And it just helped put it all in perspective. So what'll life be like 5 years from today? Right, you're making that. And then what I want you to think about is what sort of home you're going to be in. You can describe where it is, the style, the furniture, the rooms that you'd have. Possibly a spa, pool, gym, number of garages, land size, domestic help, etc. But give some serious thought to what sort of home you would be in if you build a successful business, or 5 years from today, what you'd like to be doing. All right, then think about the cars. What sort of vehicles, what sort of transport do you want to have? All right, what about investments? If you're running a job, whether you want to be doing the same thing, whether you want a promotion or whatever you want to be doing in terms of your job, and or your conventional business. If you've got a conventional business outside of this, what you'd want to be doing there as well. Guys, I did all this exercise years ago, sitting by a pool over in Orlando, Florida, and spent over 2.5 hours doing this bit here. What'll life be like in 5 years' time? Right, just let my mind go. We're not going to spend that much time tonight, but we've got these here as guides for you to work on. But it's so important to let your imagination go. Hopefully you've been listening to that, 6 miracles or miraculous success stories videos, and you realise that anything is possible. You're going to have to take some action. You're going to have some faith. You're going to have to back it up. There's no doubt about that. And, just where you'd want to be with your network business. And then what sort of holidays you want to be doing and where. With whom? Charities you may want to support, right? Other community involvements. You can write all of this down, guys. It's important that we have a look at where you want to be. Right? Start with the end in mind. What you want to be doing spiritually. Fitness and health. Right? Recreation and hobbies. Right? It's going to take some time to go through this. Clothing, jewelry. I mean, one of the things I wrote down, it's surprising, but I wrote down a Rolex watch. I'm not even sure why I wrote it down, but I ended up with it. Kids' education, hobbies, etc. What you want to be doing for your children, grandchildren. Could be business equipment, tools that you want. Other goals. But guys, spend some time, serious time and effort going through. These are the different categories, but to have a good think about them. Where you want to be, what'll life be like 5 years from today? Right? Spend some serious time on this. Let your imagination soar, guys. Let your imagination soar. Anything is possible. But it starts with a dream. It starts with a vision. It starts with the end in mind. Okay, guys, and if you haven't finished that, you'll be able to finish that when we're finished here tonight. But it's so important to go through and cover all those different categories we had there, and it just makes such a huge difference, right? The more time you spend doing this, the better. But it's a bit of a shock to start with. I understand that, but it's well worth it. So then the other thing I want you to think about is, what would an ordinary weekday be like for you? Just a one day, right? On a Tuesday, for argument's sake. For you and your family, right, 5 years from now, right? So just go through and describe what an ordinary day would be like. Okay, guys, you're doing good. And last section for tonight really is just other places you would like to visit, other things you would like to do, and any other purchases you would like to make in the next 20 years if you haven't already got it written down there. So just have a think about it, and there might be a bucket list of places you want to go and visit, right? Different countries. Right? It might be a whole heap of different things you'd like to do, but you haven't got it written down as yet. But this is like a bucket list, right? Sometimes I'll get you to write out a list of 100 goals. And so just let your mind go wild here as you just start thinking about all these things. It's amazing how much you'll be able to tick off and purchase you'd like to make in the next 20 years. Okay, well done, guys. Well done. So that's the end of the sections for tonight. But what I'd like you to do is to go back through and revise what you've written tonight. You know, have a look through it tonight, and then also again tomorrow sometime. But then also listen to this 6 Miraculous Success Stories video again. And the more times you can listen to that between now and tomorrow night, the better. And the reason I set that as a challenge, you know, last week to get that done is just truly we've got to reprogram the subconscious mind to understand just what is possible. And, you know, in those 6 Miraculous Success Stories, what we've got is you got single guys, you got single ladies, you got married couples, and it doesn't matter what age. And you're going to hear their stories, and they're all different. They're all inspiring. But that's not only the fact that you can do it, but it means that everybody else out there can also do it. And so important. And then what I'll do is I'll whack up on the Facebook page tomorrow one of the sheets we'll use tomorrow night, and if you can print that off, it's a goals planning sheet and also a monthly planning sheet, right? I'll whack them up on our Facebook how to build page so that you can go through and print those off, because we're going to want to be able to fill those in tomorrow night. But the goals planning sheet is the one that looks like this, and because we want to be able to set goals in each of these areas. But what's going to happen is, for example, you might have family goals out there that are going to depend on you achieving either business goals or networking goals first. And what we found by going through and putting in a sheet like this, it helps put it all into perspective. And you might have some community goals out there. People want to support an orphanage, but in actual fact, you've got to make some money first. You might have people out there that want to become a missionary, for argument's sake, right? And spiritual goals. But in actual fact, to be able to go and do what they feel the Lord's calling them to do, they're going to have an income stream. And instead of waiting for someone else to supply it, you can actually go in and do it. And that's what's so exciting now is with this technology that we've got today, you can build an ongoing income from anywhere in the world, that you've got residual income, that you've got internet access, and you can set up a residual income. So print this one off as well. And then the other thing we're going to look at is just a month at a glance to help you and teach you how to do this. Because in actual fact, we've all got heaps of time. It's never a time problem. It's only ever a priority problem. It's a priority problem. And that's going to be one of the big things tomorrow night we're going to be doing, is going through and looking at your priorities. Because quite often what you're going to find is when you start looking at the steps that are absolutely essential for you to achieve the goals that you've got written down, each of those steps, the chances are they will never be urgent. Never be urgent. You can always put them off till tomorrow. You can always put them off till next week. You can always put them off till next month, next year. They may never be urgent, but they're absolutely crucial. They're important that you get them done. Otherwise, you're never going to achieve the goals. And so this is all part of the thought processes. I mean, one of the things that we go through and, you know, I used to do, and it's just write out a list of things that I've got to get done each day, but then put in an order of importance and also a score, 1 to 3, and also for urgency. And it just helps you to start thinking both ways. Is it important or is it urgent? And sometimes the urgent stuff, I mean, really, if you never did it, 5 years down the track, 2 years down the track, 12 months down the track, even a month down the track, wouldn't make any difference. But you've got other people out there placing a degree of urgency on things they want you to do. But it's not going to achieve, it's not going to help you to get to your goals. And so this is all part of the thought process. And it's just awesome, guys. So it's exciting. But what I want you to do is to revise what you've written tonight, right? Because I've cut it a bit shorter than what we normally do in a live session. But you can go back through and revise, add to any of those questions that we've answered, give it some serious thought. Definitely make sure you listen to these success stories again and again if you can, a couple of times between now and tomorrow. The more times the better. And then download those couple of sheets. I'll get them up on the Facebook page. And we'll go through that tomorrow. But truly, guys, we've got an unbelievable opportunity in our hands. It is incredible. The products are incredible. That's been proven. Right? There's no doubt about that. The compensation plan is unbelievable. And we've got such a huge opportunity in our hands because most people, even those people in Isagenix today, they have not been shown properly the business opportunity. They do not understand just what they've got in their hands. They've never been shown. So many people have just been taught about the product, which is fantastic. Don't get me wrong, the products are great. But that gives us such a huge opportunity to move ahead and put this whole package together and help people to do what it is that they want. And I just see a comment here from Jack saying, great to do this a second time with you, right? Well, I promise you, we've seen this before. I've had guys do this before where they do it week after week after week. Well, I had a couple of guys years ago did it 3 weeks in a row. And what they told me is that every time they did it, they got more out of it. Because what we were doing was teaching them to think differently. You've got to use your imagination. Most of us never use our imaginations. The older we get, the less we do it. And it's so important that we, decide what it is that we want. Then tomorrow night we'll go through and we'll look at putting it all into priorities, and then we'll decide the price that we're prepared to pay. And then we'll go back through and we'll end up coming up with some, some steps that we're going to take, work out what are we going to do first, etc. So anyway, guys, been absolute pleasure sharing with you. And great to see you all here. And as I say, I promise you, the more you put into it, the more you're going to get out of it. And it's the same with the revision in the meantime, right? If you can go back and revise it and go over it and just keep thinking it through. I mean, the good news is here today, we've still got 24 hours to go ahead and do that. 22 and a half anyway. But that's good. We'll be back on tomorrow night, 7:30. So what have we got here? We just want to stop this bit here. Unmute everybody. Unmute everybody. All good?
Awesome, buddy. Thank you.
Fantastic, Trev.
Next time.
Well, so many gems.
Yeah. Just spend the time, go back through it. Yeah. I promise you, the more you get out, the more you go through it, the more you get out of it.
Yeah.
That's just what we found.
Yeah.
All good?
All good.
Thanks, Matt.
Okay,
Thanks,
guys.
Trev.
Thanks, Trev.
Bye.
Awesome. Okay.
Thanks,
Tomorrow night. Another work night tomorrow night. Cheers. All good, all good.
Sorry, I missed the first half.
Good night, my friend.
Thanks, Trev. I'll catch you tomorrow night.
Yeah, will do, Jeff. How was it tonight, mate?
Yeah, good. Good. It just helped to consolidate. Obviously, I did it before, so
Yeah.
it's not new for me, but it's good just to consolidate exactly what I thought. So
Yeah, that's what we found, mate. That's what we found, right? All good.
all good.
Okay.
And thanks for that video. It's been great to hear those things. Like even the videos that you put up, they're old, but they're so good to just listen to on repeat. Like as you've said, I've been listening to it at the gym, and it's just like, yep. I don't get sick of Jackson Parr.
No, mate. Who could? When you're making more than twice as much as the Prime Minister today.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. Yeah.
Hey?
Yeah.
I mean, it's fantastic, Jeff, because it's a repetition, mate. It's a repetition, right? That's what I'm on about.
Yeah.
And really, we have got to reprogram this subconscious. That's what it's all about.
That's it.
And the only way you can do that is a repetition. And so the more
that's what we do. That's what we do at school with times tables, right?
Yeah. Nothing's changed, mate. Nothing's changed, right?
That's it.
And in the end, we just get to know it all.
Yeah.
All good.
Yeah. All good. Thanks, Trev.
A pleasure.
I'll catch you tomorrow.
Awesome.
Will do. Okay. Good night, Kay.
Night.
Good night, Wayne.
Good night.
Good night, George. Good night, Razia.
Night, sunshine.
Good night, Lyle.
Good night, John Boy.
Night, Mary Ellen.
Bye.